Okay, guys. So today's lesson is on what we call functions. That is lesson 96 in your book. All right, so here's the main thing to know. Function is just a rule for using one number to find another. So you've been doing functions for a long time and just didn't know. You would have to, in standardized testing, find a pattern. You would be listed several numbers in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'd have to know, well, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So you've done functions without even knowing that you've done them before, okay? So that's what a function is. Now, if you look at example 1, and you're going to do this in pre-algebra, you're going to do this in algebra 1, it is an important skill to have. If you look at example 1, they have 5 and then 20, right? 5's your L, 20 is your M. So here's what you're going to have to do. You got to find a connection between the two. So what you're going to do is you're going to first try addition or subtraction, okay? Well, let's try that first. 5 plus what equals 20? Well, you're all smart kids, you know 5 plus 15 is 20. Well, come down here. 7, this is our blank. This is the one we're going to have to try to find. So let's skip that one. 10 plus 15, does that equal 25? It sure does. So we know that's the problem. 15 plus 15, does that equal 30? Yes. So you have the rule now. Whatever L is plus 15, that should give you whatever's in the M column. So if my L is 7 and I add 15, what is M? That's right, it's 22. And of course you can see that too by just looking in your book. All right, so that's the first time. That's the first way that they're going to give you problems. That's what like the first couple problems look like in your lesson practice, like A and B, okay? Now, example 2, that's even easier because they give you the chart. All you have to do is apply the rules. Excuse me just a second. So for example 2, they give you X, then they give you 3X minus 2. They tell you what the rule is. Then they give you 2 and 3, and you have to figure out what it is for 4. So they tell you what X is. X is 2. So plug in your 2 right here. So you'd say 3 times X, which is 2, minus 2. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. Yep, that's what the book got. Then 3 times 3 minus 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then 4. 3 times 4 minus 2. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. And 10's our missing number. That's what they're looking for, okay? The bottom of the page, that's going to surprise you. It's reviewing, graphing again. So what it's doing is it's telling you have to graph the points. Then you have to connect the dots. Well, instead of using these new numbers that they did in the book, let's just use these numbers right here. This is your X, and remember the other one is called your Y. So if I graph a coordinate plane right here, I know it's not neat. Just as a review, remember that your X is the horizontal line, your Y is the vertical line. Well, they've already given you the X's, and now you've figured out the Y's. So my first point, if you remember, ordered pair is always listed X, comma, Y. So my first point is going to be 2, comma, 4. So I'm going to go over 2 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. My point's going to be about right here. So that's going to be 2, comma, 4. My next point is 3, 7. So I'm going to go over 3, and then we got to add Go over 3 and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be about right there. And my last one is 4, and it's going to be what? Right about here. That's going to be 4, 10. And then they were going to ask you on one of those problems to connect that dot. Look, that's all you do. You get your X's or whatever they call. You could have called this P. You could have called that S. I mean, whatever they tell you to call it. One of them's going to stand for your horizontal line. The other's going to stand for your vertical line. Okay? The last thing that they do in example 3, and that'll be the last example of the day. They're going to tell you that the equilateral triangle is its own function. Well, what do you know? While I'm wiping the board, we can just talk. An equilateral triangle, remember the prefix EQU means equal. So remember how we talked about in the geometry sections. An equilateral triangle, all 3 sides are equal. And you know that the perimeter of a triangle is A plus B plus C. So they gave you that the sides were, what if it's 1? What if the side was 2? What if it was 3? Or what if it was 4? Well, equilateral, they're all 3 going to be the same. So to find out what the P was, and they said that this was going to be S, this was going to be P. Well, I just say 1 plus 1 plus 1, that equals 3. So P is 3. So if I was graphing, I'd have 1, 3. Right? Now I'd say 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6. So my ordered pair would be 2, 6. 3 plus 3 plus 3, that's 9. 3, 9. And then 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's going to be 12. So 4, 12. And I know some parents are probably wondering, why don't you just say 1 times 3? Well, we've talked about how the perimeter of a triangle, you just add up the 3 sides. Very rarely do we deal with an equilateral triangle. So that's why I want them adding them rather than just saying 1 times 3 or 2 times 3 or 3 times 3. So if you're going to graph it, they did it in your book, but if you were having to do it yourself, you just draw out your graph again. Your S, that's going to be like your X. And your P, that's going to be like your Y. So I'm going to go over, let's go ahead. I know I'm going to need 4 of those. And then I've got to have 12 going up. 2, 3. So the first one is 1, 3. So I go over 1, up 3. The second one is 2, 6. So I go over 2 and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About right here. The next one is 3. It's going to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to go over 1 more. And then my last one is going to be 4, 12. Obviously, you know I'm not an artist. But we connect the dots. And it's going to be a straight line. And we've done exactly what they've told us to. So when you go to work on A through D, watch this video, look at the examples in your book. Don't get overwhelmed. This, of all the things we've learned so far, this and negative numbers are the ones that you will truly use the most next year. So anyways, contact me if you need help. Talk to you again soon.